Let's go, Barry. Go. Start it. We're on fire. We are on fire.
Hey, what's some ice cream?
I'm a lizard boy. I'm a lot lizard again. Welcome, Hoarders. They're going to be playing some more Gran Turismo Sport. This episode, we're going to be going back and doing some races on the Clubman Cup. And I figured, hey, now is my chance to use the 69 Camaro that I have yet to buy. The only colors I like for the 69 Camaro is the yellow with black stripes or the blue with white stripes. Let me change the room a little. Like that color blue. No, maybe that one. I'm not sure. They're very close. That one's obviously darker. I'm going to go with yellow. That red with black looks good, though. I don't know. I'm going with the yellow. I always do the yellow on pretty much all of my cars just because I think growing up because of Transformers, I was like, yeah, buddy, I know technically he had a 69 Camaro at one point. It was like the last movie. Whatever one was before Bumblebee. I guess he technically had one, but it had a bunch of body kit work stuff on it. So it didn't really look all that much like it. Like it didn't have the grill and all the regular accents and stuff. Okay, I think the max power that we're allowed to have is 542. Regardless of that, I'm going to max this all the way up. Weight reduce all this bad Larry. I think it was 542. Do that. I'm going to leave traction control alone just because I don't know what... I have no idea of the feel of this vehicle. I imagine it's probably going to handle a lot like the Trans Am, which the Trans Am actually handles pretty decent. So that's going to be different. And this episode is going to be a little weirder because usually I don't start the episodes like this. I usually start them like already jumping into it. I want to be able to go a bit faster, but I don't want to go so fast that it takes forever to accelerate because, like I said, I don't know what I'm expecting. So let's jump into our first race. Okay, this is only 3 laps, so this is going to be probably pretty easy. Right off the bat, before I do anything further, this needs adjusted. I'm too used to, I don't know. I got to adjust it similar to my truck view. Like, I hate when it's where you see, like, the steering wheel above. I know there's people who are shorter, and I know that this car, now I know that this car has terrible brakes. So, that's something to look forward to. Handling doesn't feel bad so far, but I also haven't really... Come on, guys, now. I think this is going to be fun and easy. I just need to not go too crazy because these brakes are horrendous. A little bit of body roll. But for, like, all of the adjusting that I did to this vehicle, you guys saw me do. So, we're running not stock, but nearly stock. All I did was upgrade the engine, weight reduction, and I changed my differential so if I floor it, it won't just spin the wheels for 9 days. do some third person, because this is what I call a third person car. A car that's so goddamn beautiful that you're just like, I want to see it from the outside. I was thinking about going with a Aston Martin, but I ended up not doing that, because I would rather, like, I want a chance to use this car. That's basically what it boiled down to, because looking at the other races, there's no other races where I'm going to be able to use this car. I would like to be able to use it, but it's not fast enough for the upcoming races that I have to do. For instance, one of the races I have to do are, what the hell you call it? Damn. Like I'm doing the all Japanese car, like Japanese GT. So we're all in like Gran Turismo cars, and Formula One stuff, like stuff that's well over 200 miles an hour, on the straight stretches, and this is just not that car. I mean, you can go, I'm sure you could hit 200 easily with this on a straight stretch, like special stage route X. You could easily do that with this, and I know that you could do it with this, and I've never even tried it. Just like every muscle car in this game, you can get to hit 200. There's very few cars that you can't hit 200. Like the Fiat 500, you probably can't. You might be able to if you draft off someone, I don't know. That Mustang, and now we're in first place. Now we can probably buck around a little more. See, through there normally, if you have a regular GT car or something, you can floor it all the way through that turn. If you just have to hit the apexes just right, or else you won't be able to make it. Usually if I go through it, I don't hit the brakes, but I'll let off the gas. Just out of like worrying that I'm gonna fuck it up. In this one, I might not even have to cut laps out. The more recent ones, I've had to cut laps out because they're just so long of races that no one wants to see me do 10 laps of just talking. This is a wonderfully good car. Like, there's very few cars that handle this good, right out of the gate. Which, I was right. It does feel a lot like a Trans Am. Considering the Trans Am and the Camaros are basically the same thing. Except that Trans Am with this year of Camaro are not the same. I actually kind of wish that I'd have the traction control off, because then I could do some drifting. I want them, there's two vehicles that I would love to see them add here. The GMC Cyclone and just a regular S10, like a first generation S10. Not to be biased, but I own one and I fucking love it. I was looking on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if you guys, post in the comments down below. I'm just curious what websites you guys use to look for used cars. I am the type of person who is really against car dealerships. I do not like the idea of making payments for a vehicle, obviously, other than insurance. You always have to pay insurance no matter what, pretty much. But when it comes to, like, leasing a vehicle to own, I don't like that idea at all. Because my thing is, what if you get sick and tired of the vehicle and then you're like, fuck, I'm in this contract where I have to deal with this piece of shit for another 3 years or whatever the hell. But, like, you could get, like I did with my S10. I know it's broken down several times, but I've also fixed it several times, so that's okay. Nothing has ever happened with it bad enough that I've had to take it to a shop to get it fixed, and that's what my goal is. My goal is to be able to fix my own vehicle when stuff happens, and so far I've been able to, or get help from friends that I know that know more about vehicles than I do. Like, I know the basic stuff, but like when you practice something in your head, it's way different than doing it hands-on. Like, when I did my, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last one. I finally did my transmission fluid change, which I knew everything going into it. I was like, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, gotta get a new seal, gotta scrape the old seal off, gotta replace the oil filter. You're an idiot if you replace your fluid and don't change your oil filter, because that's the only way you're ever going to be able to change it, unless there's some type of transmission that somehow magically the filter's not in the transmission pan. But I did the whole swap and everything. It turns out I added a little bit too much fluid, and what happened was it took about a week for that too much fluid to affect anything. It didn't really hurt anything. The only thing it did was it tripped a switch in the transmission. If you have too much fluid, it gains too much pressure. The PSI in there goes up, and it trips the switch, and the switch makes it, the technical term is retarded. I don't mean it as a rude way, but it dumbs it down and it makes it not shift on purpose, because if you're going faster, it'll build up more pressure and you are likely to blow a seal. And that's what happened to me. I didn't blow a seal or anything. What I did was I rednecked it, and I put some small hose down where the dipstick is to suck out extra fluid, because I already put the transmission pan back on. I already did the gasket, scraped it, cleaned out the pan. I don't know if it's a commonly known trick, but if you use it was an ether starter, like starter fluid on the pan, it'll just make all of the old residue just slip right off. We got one more race to go. That was how I like my races to be, like, calm, and you just drive and I can talk without really worrying about losing. I saw that there's a 84 GTO, which is, I didn't know there was one on here. It's got to be some different type. It has to be. Because I don't even know what the 84s look like. I know what, like, the 60s ones. Those are, like, the most iconic ones ever. CFE at 500. And a Nissan GTR, what's that? An R34? If I got that number wrong, I'm going to get hell in the comments. I do not know the numbers that well, like R34, R35, R fucking 88. I just need to, like, the numbers in my head don't match up with the look of the car. Might be a 34, it might not be. If it's not, someone's gonna fucking tell me. RX-7 up ahead. Those are also other really good, just off the line cars that just don't need much change to them to drive good. Well, if an AI's driving it, that's a whole different thing. Oh my. Oh, can I do the good old sneaky through here? Apparently I can. That's a 4C. I like the 8C more. I don't get the point of the 4C at all. It shouldn't exist. Hey, what are you doing? And, like, the thing I said about, like, the R34 and the R35, I get the same way with the Corvette that's behind us. I almost said Camaro. Blasphemy. No, the Corvette that was back there, the silver one. I get that one mixed up all the time with the other Corvette that's on here. The C2 and the C3, I fuck up all the time. I can't remember those ones. Like, I just go back and forth. Here's a Turbo Supra 3.0. Baby. That's also another good car. This is just all good cars. This is me looking at good cars and driving past them. Because I'm faster. Not by much, apparently. Next Monday, if there's no other updates, which I'm sure there will be, because every time I get back into this game, they're like, update, update, update. And then I just have 400 billion more cars to deal with, or more races. I do love when they add cars, though. In general, I would say this Gran Turismo game is so good. Like, the people that aren't into actual, like, car simulation games, I think they're the ones that just don't like this. Like, they're the ones that are into, like, the Crew 2. Which the Crew 2 I haven't touched in a long time. I do kind of want to play it again, but I'm not very much into arcade car games. I mean, they're fun. Midnight Club 3 and Midnight Club LA were most of my childhood. But now that I'm older, I like the real cars. Like, I like the cars on here more than, like, GTA cars, because the GTA cars are generic. I want to drive, like, the real thing. Obviously, in real life I can't, because I don't have this kind of fucking boohoo money. If I did, holy hell, I wouldn't be driving a BMW M3, I'll tell you that, though. But, like, that's something else. Like, growing up, I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. What type of posters did you guys have on your walls of cars? Post some down below. I'm just curious, because I had a Lamborghini Diablo. I don't think I had any classic, like, muscle cars on my walls. I think it was mostly like Toyo Tire Girl pictures, which I'm gonna Google one of the ones that I had. I was probably like 8 and had this, and it's like, holy shit. I can't believe my parents let me have that on my wall. I don't have them anymore, but I used to have 2 Toyo Tire pictures with girls on them, and I had that Lamborghini Diablo one. I know I had a Dale Earnhardt Jr. one. I think that's about it. I don't think I had any other car ones, like car related stuff. I mean, all of them were car related. But I don't think I had any other ones like the Diablo, because the Diablo was the Diablo. There was no other, like, advertising around it. What car would I have? Well, I don't have a poster right now on my wall of a car, but I do have an old Harley Davidson one. Like, I like the old Harleys. But I've never really felt like the bikes in any games felt good. Like, the Crew, I hate the feel of the bikes on there. They just wobble too much, and, like, it just feels weird. I remember, like, MX versus ATV and that, the bikes always felt good. Well, or MX Unleashed, but those were always dirt bikes. There was never any, like, street bikes. I guess GTA's not bad either. I feel like GTA's bikes, the feel of them are better than the crews. I don't know if I drove any on the Crew 2 yet. Like I said, I kind of want to get back into playing that. I didn't play it much though. You guys saw like the majority of what I actually played on that game. But the game itself is not long. Like, to beat all of the things and get like platinum or whatever it is, to beat them on hard mode. Oh my. Yeah, let's wait until the last lap to really go off the track. We're good. We're still gonna win. We should be disqualified for that, but we're all good. I paid the fucking guy watching the race to not worry about what I do. Okay. I don't know if we got the daily reward, like the car. I hope so. And I still have to figure out what other Japanese car I want to use, because I really don't want to buy one. I have 10 mil, but I'm trying to get to 15 mil to get like one of my dream cars. What ones are here? I do believe I own one that I haven't used yet. We used that last time. Oh, yeah, we're going to use this Lexus. The Lexus is going to be our next one to do. It's going to be 3 more races. Once we beat those 3 races, we're going to be set. And we only did 24 miles. We do a couple more miles, and I can unlock that, that car. I'll probably do that off camera. Not worry about it right now. But that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. And if you did enjoy the video, check out one of my previous, next, and related videos, and don't forget to check out my social medias in the description down below.